Welcome back to another exciting day of Payday 2. I'm going to be showing you my experience farm. I've leveled up a bunch of times just from playing this level solo. I have a sentry turret loadout, and there's usually packages over here on the ground. There's seven different color packages in total. If you collect them all, you get great weapon mods and cool stuff for your gun. So the name of this mission is actually called Hoxton's Breakout. I've beat it 25 times on Overkill. Going one up solo is probably a very bad idea, even with sentry guns. Um, I'm using my Buzzsaw LMG. You have to keep telling the driver to move. Make sure you press the button, go up to it, and press right bumper. And just pretty much use the truck for cover. If you don't, there are heavily armored SWAT vehicles, and it's a pain in the neck. Sometimes it can be even worse when you're playing multiplayer because either A, they can't get to you, or B, they just die before they get to you. So it's not like they're not trying. This is a pretty difficult game due to base of the amount of cops that come, but I love it. Every time I want to kill something, this is the game I go to. So every so often it stops. You either have to move a vehicle or sometimes there's spike strips. There's a version of it with planks. If you look close by, they will be there. Just keep it moving and get to the garage door. Get the truck to the garage door is the main objective for right now. Again, this is Hoxton's Breakout. It is a 2-day mission, but it is definitely worth it for the 2-day mission for the amount of experience and the 3.54 million dollars that they give you at the end of the mission. So once you go inside this parking garage right here, if I always put a sentry gun right here next to this hostage, there are several doors in this parking garage and you're looking for a computer. You can A, pick the lock, use C4, use your saw. Picking the lock is usually the easiest or sometimes can take the longest depending on which loadout you have. There are a total of 8 doors in this parking garage, so please just try to stay alive as you're scouting your way looking for the computer to load the ballards to get to the next part of the mission. There's a dozer. Those are very heavily armored. They turn white if you turn up the difficulty a little bit more. I think Mayhem is the next difficulty level up. So you lower the bollards, you go downstairs, start dismantling the vehicle. Hopefully you have a hostage in case you die at this point. There are multiple variations to some of these levels. It's not always exactly the same. Either the package can be in a different spot or you're doing the same objective but something different will be happening. I'm glad in Payday 3, look at that, I just gained a level and a half. So I'm going to be gaining probably 3 levels by the end of this mission. Now, and you don't get paid until the end. Payday 3 is actually to be made with Unreal Engine things will change on a fly. Hopefully that will definitely it's definitely got me. I definitely want to play this game on Unreal Engine. I think it would be an amazing game. It's an amazing game now. All right. So the second part of this mission is the FBI building. You escort Hoxton up here to the top. Uh, Captain Winters can definitely come out. He'll be at the bottom of the entrance, like by where you will be exiting. There, a lot of times there are packages on these tables. They could be red, yellow, blue, green, purple. A lot of you can also find key cards. You see, I found one right there on the copier. Um, Down on the first level in the lobby area, you can find key cards. You can go up, use the key card to go up the stairs there, or use them to close the doors like I just did. So it's going to send you on a run of three different types of missions before you end up actually finishing the mission. I always put a sentry gun out in the main hallways, protect the hostage in case a person goes down. The sentry guns on the assault ammo will also, the AP rounds enabled can take out the shield circle. So if you have the sentry guns in this mission, then it is highly suggested you will probably run out of grenades before all of them are down. I'm actually waiting on Hoxton to finish downloading the information he needs to so I can grab the server, go downstairs, and be done with this mission. It is fairly easy on Overkill and completely possible. Alright, enough about the game. I got something I want to share with you guys. A few of you might already know, but I doubt it. So here it goes. I've been shot with a 9mm before. The first one went into my forearm and it went in between the two bones and missed the main artery. The second one actually came about 2 inches away from the bottom of my rib cage, so it almost punctured my lung. He did fire the gun the third time, but it jammed. Thank God. Thank God it was not a hollow point. Because if it was, then I was definitely going to be a goner. I was doing other things I wasn't supposed to be doing, like smoking weed, but I was working full time at Pizza Hut, working for minimum wage. Well, me and my buddy ended up getting into an argument one day, and I called him out. He was a cool guy and everything, but I always found myself hanging with the wrong crowd. Well, one day, my one of my friends approached me and he was like, "Hey man, you know where we can hit a lick?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." And I told him about my buddy's house, and then he was like, "Okay, so what do you need?" I was like, "Well, I need to do this smart." He was like, "Okay, why?" Well, this guy had two really big pit bulls. They were well trained. He could just snap the fingers and they would attack you. At that point, my friend was like, "No, no, no. I'm not going with you now." He definitely changed his mind on doing that mission with me. He was like, "Hey, I got this gun right here, man. You can take it in there." I said, "What?" So I got to be all loud and I'm gonna need 4 shots for the dog and at least one for him. So I'm gonna be firing a gun right in the middle of a neighborhood. He was like, "Oh yeah, good point." So we devised a plan. The plan was this. Since I had to move silently in the neighborhood, I wanted to take a pipe wrench, very large. I could hide it in underneath my shorts and lure him to the front of the house away from the dogs. Okay, that part worked. I called him late at night. I knew that he was drunk. I absolutely knew of a surefire way that this was about ready to go down. Go in there, collect the goods, get out. So I knocked on the door. We stood there and conversated for a few minutes, and as planned, as soon as he turned around, I gave him a couple whacks. He got really mad and bull charged me. I sidestepped him, and he ended up being knocked out, hitting his head on the wall. So at that point, I thought that he was knocked out. I went to go collect my goods because there was a couple grand at least. And by the time on my way back out of the way that I came in, then he was standing there with a 9mm pointed at me and fired it 3 times. At that moment, time froze. My arm caught on fire. I could feel a burning in my gut, and I dropped all my goods, pushed him out of the way as he was bleeding, and I was bleeding. My friend was supposed to be outside waiting for me. That way, whenever it was done, it was done, and I could just drive away. And he was not sitting outside. Ran up the street halfway. There was some people standing on the porch. I was going, "Hey, let me use your phone. Let me use your phone." And I slowly went down. I, I went from holding my gut to my hands being on my knees, like you would if you were catching your breath, to sitting on the ground. And I was still waiting for my buddy to show up. He never did. To laying on the ground, blood, like a puddle of blood, like you would see like in a movie or something. But an ambulance showed up. They started asking me a bunch of questions. I said the very bare minimum because of the Fifth Amendment 5. And by the time I got to the hospital, I cussed out the doctor very thoroughly. Bunch of FUs and MFers and you name it, it was there. The doctor had to ask me to stop cussing at him. I woke up from the hospital bed and found myself on the news. Tried to escape before I talked to the cops. That didn't work. Um, and do the crime, do the time. And that is my reason for not stealing anything from anybody ever again. And I will absolutely do what it takes to not go back to jail in prison and just do the right thing. It's not that hard. I'd rather just play video games about it. Shoot. Play GTA. I mean,
Same concept. Anyways, I'm alive. That's the best gift in the world. Alright, so I started this mission on level 87, Infamous 7. I'm now level 91. That's all I got for you guys today. Later, y'all.